Hello everyone, Paraskeria. It's Friday, I'm Mr. Smith, and today we're going to be learning how to tell the time in Georgian. You're going to need to use the numbers that we practiced before in a bit more detail, and a few tips and tricks on how to see the side of the clock you're talking about and where the hour is counted from, which is a key part to understanding how to tell the time in Georgian. So if you're ready, let's go. Slide 1. Slide 1 is just a clock because I don't want to start overloading you with a specific time yet. Let's just look at the basics and how we're going to get Georgianized. This clock is a sati. This is a sati. This is a Maji sati. It's a wristwatch. This is a sati. These are satebi. Satebi are the hours on the sati. And in English, we don't really say what o'clock is it. But if we did, it would make Romeli satia a bit more logical. And I want you today to just go on this journey with me, thinking and just forgetting that we say in English, what time is it? What is the time? Do you have the time? Have you got the time? Just forget that. Let's ask that strange question. What o'clock is it? Romeli satia. And you look at your watch and it says 3 o'clock. Your answer is Sami satia. Romeli satia. Sami satia. Shvidi satia. Ati satia. O'clock, o'clock, o'clock. Things get funky when we talk about minutes, because when you got the o'clock, you're pretty cool, right? Tsuti. Tsuti. Minutes are counted in Georgian, and the hour that is coming up is the hour that you reference. You don't always say what you see in Georgian, okay? You don't always say what you see in English. But in Georgian time telling, we're going to take the number that caused me the biggest confusion, which is khuti. Because khuti appears a little bit like a tongue twister, and I'm going to show you how. And once you really get your head around this example, then I think you can really tackle the other numbers pretty well. Because khuti appears so many times that it's unavoidable. This time that you can see there, that's khutis, khuti, tsutia. Khutis, khuti, tsutia. It's not 4 and it's 5 minutes as we would see it in English. It's actually 5's 5 minutes. Don't fight against it. Own it. That, what you see, khutis, khuti, tsutia. Pay attention to this is. Khuti, khutis. These 5 minutes belong to the 5, not the 4. I know, but like I said, you just have to own it. Quarter past. We don't need a quarter, right? We don't need it. That is khutis, tchutmeti, tsutia. Khutis, tchutmeti, tsutia. 25 past. Otsta khuti. We did it in the other video. Otsta khuti. Khutis, otsta khuti, tsutia. Khutis, otsta khuti, tsutia. 25 past. Half past. Nachevari. Quite simple. Khutis, nachevaria. Khutis, nachevaria. So if you've got the sati, the hour, and the half hour, pretty much it's easy as long as you remember that what you see, you got to round up to the next number. This is khutis nachevaria. Now, here, everything changes a little bit, and you can hear the difference. Now, khutis just becomes khuts. The E is gone, and there's a word following. Uklya. Khutsuklia. From now on, this is khutsuklia. Not khutis, number, and then we give the minutes. This is khutsuklia, and then the numbers of the minutes. Here's an example. What's that one? 25 to 5. We also we reference 5 too. This is khutsuklia, otsta khuti tsuti. Khutsuklia, otsta khuti tsuti. Romeli satia. ხუთს უკლია 25 წუთი. The point here is that the a is on the uklya, not on the tsutia, which was on the right-hand side of the clock. So you can actually see a little bit of a formula there. And on the next slide, we're going to look at the vocabulary with a little bit of my usual colorful explanations. But again, look at the time. What is it? Romelisatia. What is the time? 4:45. 5 is missing or lacks 15 minutes. So, ხუთს უკლია 15 წუთი. ხუთს უკლია 15 წუთი. Look at 5. 5 to 5. 5 is missing 5. So, ხუთს უკლია 5 წუთი. ხუთს უკლია 5 წუთი. And with that, it doesn't exclude the need, for example, to say 5:45. 45 წუთი. That is within your ability when you really are much more talented with numbers. We didn't do 10 past, we didn't do 20 past, 22 or 10 to. Again, I don't want us to be overloaded. Just the simple between ხუთის and ხუთს უკლია for us today is enough. One thing that I didn't mention was the only hour that is not numbered. It's actually number 1. We never need to say 1 o'clock in Georgian. Romelisatia, pirvelisatia. Pirvelisatia. You won't need to say 1 o'clock in Georgian. Got it? Good. So slide 2 is just a recap of the vocabulary that I was using, starting with the question Romelisatia, which we decided was going to be what o'clock is it, and excluding what's the time, what time is it, and things like do you have the time, sati gaks, which sounds so strange. And so Romelisatia, it's 4 o'clock. Orchi satia. Orchi satia. The point here I just want to put like paraskeria is that this a gives us the it's. The a is essential. So orchi satia tells me that it's 4 o'clock. It's orchi sati. Sati has two meanings, of course. We said that before, the hour on the clock and then the clock itself. And then we said that the wristwatch, Maji Sati, is what you buy as a gift. Things that we don't need, for example, noon and midnight. Romelisatia, we can say it's midnight in English, we can say it's noon. We use these words, we don't need them, okay? The word for noon and midday is here. Shuadre, in the middle of the day. Shuadre is noon or midday. Shuarame is the midnight. They're used, but not to tell the time. We have meot chedi. Meot chedi is the quarter, from quarter past and quarter to, that we didn't need because we're using 15. Tchut meti. And so they're in the vocabulary, but they are not used the way we do in English. Tsuti, minute, and then tsami, second. We didn't use any seconds. And then just to confirm, of course, 12 o'clock. Tormeti satia. Tormeti satia. Followed by pirveli satia, where 1 o'clock becomes first. It's not erti satia, it's pirveli satia. And this is the third and final slide. It just covers the vocabulary about the time when it was more detailed into minutes. The first right-hand half of the clock requires the following hour's name, the number. For example, Samis ati tsutia is what we're looking at here. This is not 2's 10, it's Samis from 3, ati 10, tsutia. Samis ati tsutia. 3's 10 minutes or the 10 minutes of 3, that's how it's perceived with another example. The left-hand side of the clock, the hour is missing, it's lacking, and that's uklya. And so here, if we look at what we'd say in English 2:35, Again, the hour 3 is missing those 25 minutes. We're still thinking of 3. So it's Sams uklya, not Samis. Sams uklya, and then otstachuti tsuti. Sams uklya, otstachuti tsuti. In this case, 3 is missing 25 minutes. And so that's 2:35. Sams uklya, otstachuti tsuti. And then just back to another example, just to show you how it rounds up with 3. Samis nachevaria, 2:30. 3's half. Samis nachevaria, 2:30. That is the last slide of today. Thank you very much for your attention. Next week, we're taking a look at the most cliche question on earth. To be or not to be. Or in Georgian, chopna ar chopna. Well, you'll see next week. Have a nice weekend. Thank you and goodbye.